Hello.
Starting this webinar shortly. Meanwhile, let me just
Synthesizers.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes. Sir.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Shall we start, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for joining the webinar during this pandemic time. We will be starting this webinar shortly. Meanwhile, let me take opportunity to introduce our GKD ITR. GKD Institute for Technological Resources is a unit of GKD Charity Trust, Coimbatore. It was established by late Cavalier Dr. D. Jayavardhana Velu, former is tie-up with Tata Institute of Social Sciences and Alagappa University for commenced university model degree level technological skill development programs in the domain of manufacturing, automation, and foundry technology. Moreover, GKD ITR has FANUC India certified CNC and robot training institution for training CNC and robot. Over 80,000 trainees from GKD ITR have secured jobs in prestigious companies in India and abroad. Now, I request our director, Dr. Balamurugan M, to give welcome address for this webinar.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Smart Manufacturing for the Manufacturing Industries. The goal of doing this webinar is, today's manufacturing is changing faster than ever before, and the drivers for this include globalization, individualization, time to market, and sustainability. Now, present question is how to deal with these changes. First thing is first, this smart manufacturing is not a new technology, nor it is a business discipline. It means using self-optimization, self-configuration, and even artificial intelligence complete a complex task. I believe that by participating in this webinar, we are in the right place and right time. Together, let us accelerate the exchange of our ideas and scaling up and grow good practices. Now, without further delay, we'll turn the time to our speaker. Our today's speaker is Mr. Ashoka from Fanuc India, domain expert in smart manufacturing with IoT and Industry 4.0. Mr. Ashoka has 22 years experience in machine tools. I invite Mr. Ashoka to deliver this webinar. Mr. Ashoka, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Welcome to all the panelists, Mr. Balasan and Mr. Chandrasekhar for this webinar, and also all the participants who are participating in this webinar. So let me share my screen. So the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I thank GKDITR for giving me this opportunity to present on smart manufacturing for the industries. And I welcome all the panelists and the participants for this special webinar on smart manufacturing, which is really a trend in the today's manufacturing industries. So let us see what is there, the latest trends with smart manufacturing and what is followed at the industries to have the smart manufacturing and using the IoT and AI features. So agenda, basically we'll be covering on industrial IoT basics. Everybody will be knowing, but just will be covering on the basics, and then we'll be covering on how the digitization of factories are done using IoT softwares, and further how it will be digitalization is done, like how to represent the data, what we get from each equipment, how to visualize the factory, production monitoring or maintenance monitoring, all those things. And then there are some use cases of IoT implementation at industries. So we'll be talking on that use cases. And also the AI, which is a trend now in the manufacturing industries. We will cover up what is the advantages of AI, and also what all the latest trends in AI for manufacturing industries. So after this, we'll be having a question answer session, and if you have any queries, we can have we can clarify those queries on the above subject. So So before going to the industrial IoT, I'll be thinking that whoever is a participant who's knowing the factory environment and also the machine tools which are used in the factories, and also the CNC machines and other machines which are used at factories. So I will be directly going to the industrial IoT, okay, and will be more covering on the digitization and digitalization of the factories. So coming to the basics of industrial IoT, it is everybody known that anything, anytime, anywhere connection is IoT basically. So basically, in case of internet, all the computers or connected people will receive or send the data or the information will be stored. And in case of Internet of Things, all the devices around us will be connected, like smart homes or smart cars, smart cities, or smart farming, or even the smart retails. Everything is connected to internet to make our life easy. And coming to the industrial IoT, it is mainly for monitoring the real-time shop floors. So all the shop floor machines will be connected and enabled with to enable the smart factories. And basically, to have this industrial IoT, we should digitize the machines which are there in the shop floor in the factories, using some special sensors or the real-time data from the machines, and also creating a virtual environment. Like you have a lot of physical machines, but it will be created with a virtual environment where with the real-time data from the equipments. So right side we can see that how we can visualize the factory virtually on the on the dashboard or on your smart phone or onto the computers. So it is just a virtual representation of digitized shop floor where we'll have a real-time monitoring. And also with this data which is available from all the equipments, we can gain future insights, like what we have to do further to optimize the like productivity, or to reduce the breakdown time, or to improve the quality, or improve the overall process. So to get the insights, we should have all the real-time data from each equipment from the shop floor and what is going on in the shop floor. So why we want this industrial IoT is basically to achieve each equipment monitoring in the shop floor, and ensuring the real-time data sanctity of each equipment and the shop floor. Basically, to have takt-time monitoring of each line and also arrive at bottleneck operations where we can work on those bottleneck operations, and we can reduce the takt time and get more productivity. And also to monitor the process in the production line, and also control the quality and optimize production as well as the quality as per the requirement. And diagnostics and troubleshooting will become easy. So there are a lot of issues which hamper the production or the quality, which can be easily diagnosed with this real-time industrial IoT. And also analysis of data. We have a lot of data which will be used for predictive and preventive maintenance purposes. We can create some apps using AI and machine learning, which we are going to cover in the next slides, which will help in doing analysis and making some preventive measures to avoid the breakdown and also improve the productivity. And inventory management will be under control. So the whatever required in the shop floor, only that will be made available as an input. So a lot of inventory management can be controlled at real time. And also we can have it is easy to meet the customer demands because you have all the data on hand. So it is just the industrial IoT enable to have a greater insights of the overall factory with the real time data onto the to the dashboard or to the server. So what enables this industrial IoT? What made it possible? Nowadays, the sensors which are low cost and also low power sensors are available. Smart sensors are available, which are easily plug into the system, and we can start getting the data, required data from the equipments. And there are a lot of edge computing devices like CNCs, PLCs, robots, which are readily can be connected, and whatever the critical information from each of these can be readily taken to the IoT. And then connectivity has become easy. Like all the new controls will come with the Ethernet by default. So the connectivity is making the industrial IoT as possible. And artificial intelligence is one of the feature where we can have a lot of applications which can be developed to make the user easy to get the data what he is expecting. And also machine learning and analytics, which makes once again the data study, which is a huge data from the equipments, which can be analyzed and learned, and we can arrive at the applications where the actions can be taken beforehand. And also cloud platforms where the huge data for long time, there is a constraint in storing into the physical servers. So this cloud platform is enabling ease of storing the data for longer time and retrieve at if there are any issues in the future. So these are the technologies which is enabling the industrial IoT possible in the latest shop floors. So coming to this model of computer-aided manufacturing from last 2 decades. So if you see here, it is like a hierarchical data sharing model, where in the bottom level we have sensors and actuators in the shop floor, which are connected to some PLC or HMI or CNC systems, where from the sensors the data will be transferred in bits per millisecond, whereas in case of CNC, PLCs and HMIs, the data will be transferred in bytes per second. To the next level like SCADA, where data flow will be like in kilobytes per minute. And from the SCADA, there will be MES or MIS systems where data flow will be like in megabytes per hour. And on top of everything, there is an ERP system where data transfer happens in megabytes per day. So there is a huge data flowing from bottom to the top level of shop floor monitoring, where this trend is changing now to the flat data sharing model, where the data is available at the heads level with a single source, real-time data from the PLCs, CNCs, and the sensors and actuators, which can be taken at real time to any of the SCADA or HMI or MIS, MES systems or the ERP systems, and only the relevant data also can be shared to the cloud. So this is the trend now currently. And coming to the major topic now, digitization and digitalization of the manufacturing industries. So we will first see the digitization of factories. Basically, digitization of factories to get the data into the centralized location. Basically, all the equipment data to be collected from the shop floor and stored in some place. So we will see these what all the modules which are available, how we can digitize the factories. So first we will see the architecture. So this is the overall line diagram of IoT software, where there are three parts. One is connecting all the equipments in the shop floor, collecting the data from the machines, and communicating it to the Aparos systems. So these are the main three layers where IoT software will connect and collect the data and communicate to the Aparos system. So all the equipments in the shop floors with Ethernet or any other interface will be connected to the IoT software, which has got built-in database, and also has got visualization for production monitoring as well as maintenance monitoring. And this database can be sharing the data into the Aparos systems like MES, ERP, and other enterprise softwares. So overall architecture, any CNC controller with the equipment which is having Ethernet can be directly connected to the IoT software. And also the legacy controls, old controls where Ethernet is not available, those can be connected using the Ethernet IO converter, and then it can be connected to the IoT software using OPC UA protocol. And robots can be connected using robot interface. And third-party controllers like CNC and PLC controllers also can be connected using OPC UA communication, which is available with our IoT software. And also the other controls, imported machines, where MT Connect is the common protocol. So those machines also can be connected to the IoT software using MT Connect protocol. So basically, the IoT software will have by default database, and also has got a visualization to have some real-time monitoring of the whole shop floor. So coming to the hardware requirements, basically all the equipments in the shop floor will be connected to a collector PC, which is just collecting the data and sending to the server or receiver in between. So this can be used maybe like per each cell, maybe around 25 machines, you can have a collector in between. And the data from the collector will be sent to a server or receiver, where the database will be sitting, and all the data from the equipments will be stored here. And from the server PC, we can have client PCs or tablets, where the visualization is possible with the web browser screens. So that's about the architecture, and then we will see how the database works with IoT software. So in Fanuc case, we have a by default MongoDB database, which is available along with the IoT software, which will store all the data in every 500 milliseconds from the each equipment. And this can be accessed to any Aparos MES or ERP system with web API commands easily. So basically, this is an NoSQL database, and you don't need a lot of time to redesign or design the database schema and all. It is readily available, and it is easy to set up and install. And the data stored in JSON format, and it can be easily accessed and also easy to scale. And it is 100 times faster as compared to the relational databases which are available in the market. And it is an open source, so it is available free with the IoT software. And coming to the database expansion, so normally the lot of data will flow from the each equipment, and if you are using a physical server, the data memory will exhaust, after 6 months or 1 year, depending upon the data you are storing. So the database expansion can be done using NAS technology in the network, in the factory easily. So we can store from one drive to another drive, move the data from one drive to another drive in the LAN using NAS technology easily. And coming to the connectivity, so any latest controller to the legacy controller from 0 series to the latest controller, we can connect onto the IoT. So in the older controls, it will be like with Ethernet, with IOs and RS-232 communication. Whereas coming to the latest controls, it will be with the Ethernet, where we can get the real-time data. And also, if there are third-party PLCs and CNCs, we can connect with the OPC UA and the MT Connect protocol, and also with the normal input-output signals. And this is how to connect the legacy control, older controls in the shop floor. So shop floor will be always having a mixture of old and new controls used on the machine. So in case of older controls, only RS-232 will be available by default. So even using RS-232 protocol, we can send the important data to the server using RS-232 to Ethernet converters, which are available in the market, and using OPCUA from the converter to the server. So we can send basic data like what is the program number, what is the parts, number of parts produced, cycle time. So all those critical data which are required for the machine monitoring can be easily sent to the server. So coming to the data from edge devices. So basically, the end customer will be looking for a lot of data from the equipments. So all the data we can say from the CNC or PLC or servo spindle, everything can be collected around 100 data from the each equipment, each machine can be collected easily, and it will be sent to the server which is connected with the IoT. So these are all some of the data which comes from the CNC, like all the mode selection and programs, and what all the model codes and part numbers, including servo and spindle. So if you take spindle, actual spindle speed, and then commanded spindle speed, actual load, temperature, everything will be captured in every 500 millisecond from the each equipment. And also in case of servos, actual feed rate, commanded feed rate, temperature, and the speed and load of the servo motors can be taken at real time. All the PMC macro variables and the P code variables can be captured directly with a simple setting. And also there are so many preventive maintenance data, like including the insulation resistance of servo and spindle motors, and amplifier and CNC fans, and also the batteries which are used on amplifiers and CNC. Those data can be captured, which are very helpful for the preventive maintenance of the machine. So another data like macro variables also can be collected from each machine. Maybe the machine is equipped with some process gauging, post-process gauging. So those data which are stored in macro variables can be easily taken to the IoT software with trigger macro setting in the admin tool, and all the macros which are storing that process gauge parameters will be easily taken to the IoT software. And one more main feature of Fanuc IoT is we have a high-speed sampling of data. Like even 1 millisecond sampling data can be captured from servo, CNC, and spindles, where this data may be very critical to analyze what is happening in the particular cycle or particular component. So the 1 millisecond data sampling is possible using our servo viewer software along with the IoT software. So where we can capture the data in millisecond and also display the data at on servo viewer screen. And also this data can be stored in the server, and it can be taken to Opera system, and these integrator can develop their own analysis and represent the data as per the requirement using some BI tool. So some case studies we have later slides will be explaining on the how this 1 millisecond data, high-speed data can be used for the analysis, predictive analysis in the next slides. And one of the case study for high-speed data capturing use case. So here we can see that the vibration waveform of the feed axis, where we can use it for spindle bearing failure. So in the initial case, we can see that the torque command is having the oscillation with normal, whereas when there is a bearing failure occurred, the torque command is oscillating more. So this can be converted to Fourier analysis, and we can visualize that there is a difference between the normal one to the abnormal one, where easily we can arrive at that there is a spindle bearing failure in the machine. So like this analysis is possible by capturing that high speed data from the equipment. Then digitization across the geographies. If we have multiple factories, so how to integrate? So here each factories, depending upon the number of machines, we can have a local server where the IoT software will be installed. And if you have multiple factories, so each factory can have their own local receiver or servers, and all these multiple factories can be visualized using a integration server in the IoT software, and we can see at head office all these shop floors at a time, and visualize what is happening in each shop floor. And also we can see that overview of each shop floor and each equipment, what is happening, and also compare the efficiency between the shop floors. So data security, the IoT software also have the data sent through email from the local office to the head offices using SSL and TLS technologies, where data while sending will get encrypted and will be opened only at the client place, or at the other factories or head offices. So by default, this web server with SSL and TLS is available with our IoT software, which is protecting the data, which is very important for the factories, which should not be hacked by any other third parties. Then data collaboration. So there are a lot of data which comes from the equipment, so which also can be represented using any of the third party application, where which can be represented depending upon the user requirement, because every shop floor requirement will be different. So once the data is available, the representation can be made flexibly depending upon the individual factory's requirement. So from the IoT software, we have the data at MongoDB, where also we have a higher high-speed data with 1 millisecond sampling, which can be converted to CSV file format, and it can be given to the third-party application, and they can develop the predictive analysis using these data at high-speed sampling, and they can arrive at some applications where they can predict the failure of the machines or failure of the equipment or failure of the parts in the machine. So, and another way of getting the data is the MongoDB database can be directly accessed using web API codes to the third-party application, and they can represent the data the way the user wanted with the dashboards and reports. And also, the integrator or the user can develop MongoDB to any other database, using the connectors, their own connectors, and they can, from there they can represent the data as the user wanted. And one of the other thing is the IoT software has got a lot of unique functions where machine backup, archive, and all possible directly, which are not available to get it from the third-party application, which can be directly accessed using our web UI screens, and those features can be used on the used by the shop floor people for the use of use. So this is how we can share the data to any of the third-party application which can be developed by the integrators or the users. So coming to this data sharing, once again, our IoT software has got web UI function where around 100 screens, customized screens, can be developed using the web API commands, and we need to know JavaScript and HTML5, where we can develop original web screens to represent the data the way the end user wanted on the each shop floor. So around 100 screens, apart from the standard screens available in the software, is possible to develop using this web UI and web API feature. So that is about digitization of factories. So now we'll move on to the so basically digitization is nothing but collecting the data from the each equipment, whichever it is required for production monitoring or for maintenance monitoring, or to develop some AI features. And digitization of factories is basically how we are digitalization is nothing but how we are representing that collected data. So there are different modules which will be going one by one. So basically factory visualization. So our IoT software, which has got web pages to visualize the data which is collected from each equipment. So we can register around 1,000 users in the factories where the individual can access the particular data and all. So 1,000 users with separate username and login, they can log into the web pages, and they can access the whatever data, like production person can access only the production data, maintenance person can only access the maintenance data, like that. So right side is an main page, home screen, where there are different areas where monitoring, results, diagnostics, and utility. These are the separate groups available to monitor overall shop floor. So this is like virtual representation of the factories. So we can create the virtual factory, including the cells and the machines layout as it is installed in the factories, and we can visualize real time what is happening onto the each cell or each machine. So the machine display color and all can be configured depending upon the situation. Like emergency means it will show in like different color. Alarm means it will show in red color, and stop means it will be showing in a yellow color, like that. So this will be making a virtual representation of the whole factory or the shop floor. So visualization of standard visualization of the IoT software, we can have the real-time monitoring of the each cell or the whole shop floor, and also it will show how many machines are operating, disconnected, or waiting for input material, or having some alarm. And also we can have individual equipment operation results with bar graphs, and also with the pie chart, and the real-time alarm status also can be visualized of the shop floor. So individual equipment, how much time it was under operation, and how many alarms it was there. So those data are readily available with the standard visualization available with the IoT software. This is one of the integration server where multiple factories, multiple facilities can be visualized, and we can see that the efficiency of individual factories or individual cells with the time and date and shift. So this will be very useful for like head office to arrive at what is happening in the each factories. And also now with the latest IoT software, it is possible to access the CNC screen itself onto the server or dashboard, and he can easily visualize what is happening onto the particular CNC. So we can the maintenance person or the production person can see easily the CNC screen itself on the server. And also there is input plan. The work schedule can be input directly with the latest IoT softwares, where the scheduling can happen automatically. And one of the special this thing with the latest IoT software is we have tool life management, where tool life monitoring can be visualized directly on the IoT dashboard, where each tool, how much the utilization, and whether the tool is good or it is whole life has been consumed, can be seen real time on the dashboard. And also this can be interlocked to the MES or ERP automatically to purchase the tools, and also release the indent to the supplier. So this will automate the whole process depending upon the consumption of the tools in the shop floor. So that is about visualization. Then coming to the production planning, so we can input the production plan with the Excel or CSV file onto the IoT software, and we can get the trend of actual production versus plan. So if there is a lag, or if there is an issue, then automatically the production person will take see that why it is happening, or how to minimize those gaps, or any bottleneck machines, or any breakdown of the machines. So those things can be taken care by the production or maintenance people, seeing at the production trend in the real time. And also each program execution history will be captured in the results of the dashboard. and we can see the timestamp of each component or each program. So which will if there is some issues in between, they can take some action why there is a delay in the production or the cycle time between the two components or two programs. They can easily visualize. And program management has become easy now. Program can be transferred from the server using FTP communication directly to the equipment. So to and fro communication is possible. You can download as well as upload the program. So this has become easy, like with the sitting at server room, we can drop the program onto the each equipment, and it can be used by the operator. So coming to the signal monitoring, where there are critical signals on each equipment which can be configured in the signal monitoring, and we can get that trend at real time, what is happening for a particular signal. We can also set minimum maximum values using the admin tool, and we can get an email if there is some limit is crossing for a particular critical signal, and maintenance person or the production person can take some action. And once that limit is if there is any alarm also, alarm level, we can send the alarm, and the maintenance person can take action. Once again, once the action is taken, once again the email can be sent back. So this is very critical, and we can configure any of the critical signal, sensor signal on the equipment to real-time monitoring. And with this, we can analyze what is happening in the each equipment or each cycle or each component. Once that signal is monitoring is storing the data, later stage we can also see the signal history plotting. So if, let us say, there is some issue in a particular shift or a particular component in a particular date, we can go and we can have a look what is happening for that particular component in a particular shift and date. So this will keep all the signal data history, which can be used for investigating any issues in the field in that particular component. So coming to the asset management, we have a unique feature in IoT software, where hundreds of asset management items can be stored against each equipment. So where the specific information about the machine or some process sheets or some drawings can be stored in this asset management, which can be utilized by the operator whenever it is required, using special tabs at each station. And also we have a case study where we have used this asset management for storing the individual machine data, which will be coming in the next slides. So then coming to reports, there are a lot of different reports we can get, like we can get operation results daily, weekly, monthly, and the reports we can get it in bar graph, pie chart, and also individual equipments, and for the whole shop floor and the cells individually. So this will help in getting the clear view what is happening in the shop floor and the factories. Then one more feature, maintenance data aggregation. This is required for all the maintenance people in the shop floor, where the data from the equipment can be just in a one click we can get all the maintenance data, including like SRAM, FRAM from the equipment, parameters, PMC, everything can be saved in one click, and we can send it to our service through email, and our service can diagnose this data, and they can give a solution with immediately, and we can recover the machine easily back to production. So this will help in making the machine which is under breakdown putting back easily onto the production. Otherwise, then maintenance person has to take individual backup and send email and all. And also he may not be having the latest backup and all. So it will take a lot of time to analyze and why there is a problem in the machine. And also there is a automatic data archive which is easily set by the admin tool in the software, and the machine equipment data will be automatically archived and stored in the server. So including the critical data like FRAM, SRAM is possible with the latest software, where a maintenance person no need to go to each machine and take the backup and keep it in server and all. So this will enable us to have a latest backup of the each equipment, and whenever there is an issue in a particular equipment, we can easily restore the data and bring back the machine back to the operation. So which will reduce the overall breakdown time in the shop floor. And also one of the special feature with machine data archive is even we can compare the previous data with the current data, where if there are some changes in the, let us say, CNC parameter, somebody has measured some parameters, we will come to know that okay, there is a change in the parameters, where easily maintenance person can analyze and see that why there is a change in the parameter, and make the correct setting and bring back the machine into the operation easily. So even there is some part program changes or CNC parameter changes which can be analyzed easily using this comparing of machine data archive in the software. So that is about the digitization of factories. And so we have gone through how to digitize the factories and how to do the digitalization. So now we are going to see that the case studies, and also we have installation base where Fanuc has installed IoT, that is MT-Link-I software, at around 43 plus customers, around 3,000 plus machines. So and our clientele where Fanuc IoT has been used at various end users, automotive or agriculture area, or the non-automotive sector, aerospace. So everywhere the IoT has been installed and it is used by the users like Toyota, Hero, Honda, Suzuki, so Royal Enfield, TVS. So these are the major customers who are already using the IoT for their shop floor monitoring. So coming to the case studies, we have captured some 6 case studies majorly where the IoT has been used for making the smart factories, so smart manufacturing. So these are the 6 case studies where one of the case studies paperless factory requirement, another case study is like custom dashboard and mobile apps required for the shop floor monitoring, and then total shop floor monitoring required in one of the case where we had a lot of field sensor connection, as well as the various equipments connection, and also legacy machine connections. And also there is a signature analysis requirement for the one of the user, and in one of the case paint robot connection was required, where we have worked and connected paint robots, and also connectivity to the other controls like any other controls, numeric or muzzle or task controls how to connect and what all the types of data we can get it from the equipments from the shop floor. So coming to the case study of paperless factory. So here actually we have used the Fanuc IoT software. We had a license of around 150 machines, whereas in one of the shop floor, this end user is a supplier of connecting rod for automobile industry, has connected 50 machines as a pilot to have this paperless factory requirement. So the requirement from the end user was like total connected shop floor machines, and also to move entire to paperless, where screen customization was required to input specific data onto the IoT software and to store at database. And also there was a app where each operator can log in and input the customized data, which should be stored in the database. So this has been met with our IoT software MT-Link-I, and also by using the our web UI and web API customization specific to the machine data input. So why the paperless factory requirement? We have studied what is critical for requirement of this paperless factory. So one of the data entry of critical measurement, where each station will have some measuring instruments, which may be a manual feed, which may not be able to connect to the machines or to the IoT software, which has to be taken on the individual stations. And also there are component drawings which are very critical and confidential, and process sheets which has to be access to the each machine operators, which by the hard copy it is very difficult. So which was supposed to be done with the paperless. And also auditing all these documents was taking a lot of time, so and the manpower. So with our analysis, we found that around 34 papers per machine used per month, and if you take around 57 machine, it is around 2000 papers. And if you take time required per month, it is around 50 to 60 hours which was spent to do this work. So which customer was expecting the paperless factory to meet all those requirements and to get the data at real time onto the server. So this is what we have done at this customer with the POC, where there are two types of documents. One is like work order files, component drawings, range drawings, and machine checklist documents are uploaded using our asset management screens in the IoT software, and we could able to give the access to the individual operator through tabs to see the process sheet, drawings, and etc. And another requirement is the operator was supposed to enter like daily check sheets, checklist, CMM values of inspected components, and production plan, and the breakdown entry. So these data entries were developed using web API and web UI, and these data are stored directly to the MongoDB database. So that's how we were able to eliminate all those hard copy papers in the shop floor and meet the requirement. Coming to the next case study, it is a two-wheeler OEM, where we have again sold 150 machines license, and customer connected the 120 machines in the shop floor. Basically, here the requirement was like customized dashboards and the downtime entry and the reason entry, TPM checklist entry through the mobile application. These are the two requirements of the shop floor, where the integrator has developed the custom software using third-party application, using by accessing the customized, by accessing the MongoDB database using the customized MongoDB connector, and develop the dashboards and reports which are required for the end user. So these are some of the dashboards where we can see that hourly production, in the dashboard for individual equipments, and also OE reports for the individual equipments been done as per the end user requirement, and also to give the TPM or quality modules have been created, which can be accessed directly onto the tab, where the operator can enter the downtime reason as well as the TPM check status on the mobile or tab, so which can be directly input to the server, or this data will be taken to the IoT database. So another case study where this is once again two-wheeler OEM, where we have given 250 machines license, and the shop floor they have connected around 214 machines with 3 different plants. So here the special requirements are like a total shop floor monitoring. There were a lot of machines where the external sensors, smart sensors, were supposed to connect and get the real-time data, like some induction motors, where the external sensors have been connected and the data has been collected to the IoT software, and legacy machines which are connected through RS-232. And also there are machines which are not FANUC controls, like other third-party controls, which are connected through OPC UA and MT Connect software. So this is the overall architecture of how we have met the requirement of the end user, where all the machines which are with Ethernet, they have connected to directly to our IoT software, MT-Link-I, and the third-party controllers also connected using OPC and MT Connect. So all these with Ethernet controllers are getting direct real-time data onto the database. Legacy controls connected through RS-232, and the Ethernet converter has been used in between to get the minimal data for the machine monitoring. And also there are so many field sensors, input outputs, and the analog sensors which are also directly connected to IoT software to have the real-time monitoring of the sensors, like coolant motors, hydraulic motors, which are not possible to connect directly to the controllers. So that's how we could able to meet the total overall connection of the shop floor to monitor real time. So another case study is signature analysis. So using our IoT software. So here we have given a 50 machines license, but customer has used one machine POC, where there is a special requirement. The customer wanted to monitor the signature analysis of servo and spindle waveforms, and also you wanted to compare these waveforms randomly on the production job, and eliminate if there are some quality issues. So we have given the IoT software along with our ServoViewer linkage tool, where we can get the data with 1 millisecond sampling through the We have also used external sensors like temperature sensors and shock sensors, where real-time the vibration and the temperature data, along with the servo and spindle data, is utilized for having the signature analysis and compare this signature data with the next components, where they can arrive at if there is any quality issue, they can reject those parts. So one of the study like using the signature analysis of IoT software data. So where we can see here, we can also predict the tool breakage. So once we have this high-speed data with 1 millisecond sampling, we can see here the for a drilling cycle, multiple drilling holes, where we can observe the spindle torque and the z-axis position, where we can see that spindle torque is normal once the drill hole when it is doing the holes in the starting, whereas when the tool get blunt or before going to break, we can see that there is a change in waveform, where the torque command is getting disturbed, and we can stop the machine before the tool breakage itself. So this has been used for the predictive analysis and stop the machine before the breakage of the tool. So another case study is paint robot connection in a two-wheeler OEM, where we have connected around 91 machines and 6 robots. And here we can see that there was a paint robots which were doing the painting of the two-wheeler parts. And these robots were critical, and we were supposed to monitor in the line. So we have used the IoT software, and these paint robots were special, and we have loaded the special software to get the data from these robots to the IoT software, and we could able to start getting the data. So this is the dashboard of robot monitoring screen, where the critical data like paint process, whether robot is working, not working, all those critical data can be monitored real time. And these are the data where we can get from the paint robots, like various data, emergency, general input outputs, special input outputs, and the group input outputs, like even the special analog input outputs data, where the process paint related process data also can be captured. So coming to the last topic, the synumeric CNC connectivity. This we have done at one of the aerospace component manufacturer, where we have given 20 machines license, and we could able to connect 840D or 828D CNC, and we could get the data through OPCA function. So these are the data which can be captured on synumeric CNC, like almost all the data from the CNC side, spindle, servo, and also PLC, and the R parameters. All these data can be captured using OPCA to the IoT software. So any critical data from the equipment, it can be captured to the IoT software for the monitoring. And coming to the another third-party controller, Mazatrol, on Mazak machines, where can you mute? I'm having some disturbances. So coming to this Mazatrol connectivity, so as I told, there is an MT Connect where we can get the data from MT Connect, server which is available on the third-party controllers, There will be an MT Connect adapter agent which will be given by the machine tool builders. Through that, we can access the data into the MT Link or our IoT software. So these are some of the list of signals which we are able to collect from the Mazatrol controller to the MT Link software, IoT software, using MT Connect protocol. And here we can see that more closer distinguished data, like there is a different license available with Mazatrol with MT Connect. So from Fusion T to Smooth X, G. So depending upon the version, the data available for the collection will be varying. So whereas if you see Smooth X or G can collect all the data which is listed in the screen. And also we have also worked on connecting another third-party controller, OS controller, once again with the MT Connect, and so MT Connect adapter enables to get the data onto the IoT software, and MT Link can collect this data, and these are the data which has been listed like CNC mode, program name, rapid overhead, feed overhead. So all those critical data which are required for machine monitoring or equipment monitoring can be captured even from the HAAS machines with the HAAS controller. So that is about the digitalization of factories. And one more topic which I'm going to cover is artificial intelligence. How artificial intelligence can be used for monitoring the manufacturing industries, which is a new trend now. So coming to the AI, artificial intelligence. So as you have seen, there are a lot of data collection from the equipment. So in the real time, there are a lot of data will be there from each equipment, from the each edge device, where there are a lot of junk data will be there, but the user will be looking for some special data, some special trends, which has to be processed and also to be learned with the machine learning or deep learning concept, with the special algorithms like Fourier analysis, FFT analysis, all those things. And with those analysis, we can analyze the data which is available, and we can create the applications which are useful for the end user, which is looking at for ease of use or whatever the expectation of the individual shop floor requirement. So all this can be made easy using artificial intelligence. Main targets of artificial intelligence is like improving the performance of the individual equipment or the overall shop floor. It is the main motto for this AI. And also we can have preventive maintenance. So we can just predict when the equipment is going to fail, or when the line is going to stop beforehand, and take some actions and avoid those breakdowns. And you can have the plan as per your requirement. And also it helps in like inspection on real-time inspection. So with real-time data, so we can analyze whether the operation done on the equipment, it is good or bad, with a lot of data on hand. And also we can create a lot of applications using this AI, and which will make ease of use for the shop floor person or the user. So these are the main targets of AI functions which are coming now. which are used in the manufacturing industries. So some sample AI features. So one of the difficulty at manufacturing industries is the thermal displacement on the equipments. So mainly the CNC machines, where the temperature is playing important role, and the quality of the components produced will have severe effect on the temperature variation in the shop floor. So for this, Fanuc has come up with the AI thermal displacement compensation function, where on real time on the equipment there will be a temperature sensors at spots, which will be recording the real time temperature on the machine, and the displacement data will be learnt by our software with the machine learning, and which will create a thermal displacement compensation model, which will be loaded onto the CNC controller, and depending upon the real-time temperature at the site, the compensation will happen, and we can get very good accuracies on the machine. So this is one of the AI feature which already we are working with the machine tool builders, which we are able to get around 70% improvement by applying this on the machining centers or on the compact lathes, which will be reality by this year end, and more and more machine tools will come with this feature, where we can expect good accuracies, even though there is a variation in the ambient temperature depending upon the site conditions. And another AI feature which is going to come is depending upon the component which has been machined on each equipment in the shop floor, a lot of tuning or the setting is done on the machine, can be stored in the server depending upon the workpiece type. And later stages, if you want to do the same component on the same machine, you can restore easily from the server, and you can get the component quality, or even this can be restored to a similar machine in the line, where you can easily come out of all the issues which you have faced in producing first time the particular special component. So this will enable like optimization which is done on one machine for a particular component can be easily restored to another machine or to the same machine in later stages when you're doing the same component. And one more AI feature for minimizing downtime. There's a trouble diagnostics, where if there is an issue on the machine tool or on the equipment, the guidance will be there by default on the CNC, and also the maintenance person does some troubleshooting, and whatever troubleshooting he does, he can enter in the whatever the actions he has taken to overcome that problem. We can be input as an historian data against that issue, and later stages if the similar issue happens, the another maintenance person can easily refer and bring back the machine back to work with a minimum time. So this AI function is going to come shortly, which will help shop floor people to have some ready reckoner or all the historian data which is done by a maintenance person on individual equipment. Another AI feature which is like AI servo monitor, which is under testing at Fanuc Japan shop floor, where we can monitor the servo and spindle anomaly score, and we can predict when the servo motor or spindle motor is going to fail. So beforehand, so here we can see that the anomaly score has been captured continuously. And if there is a huge variation in that data, we can predict beforehand when the actual failure is going to happen, and the maintenance person can take the action to order the spares or to do some maintenance work beforehand, stopping the line, and he can avoid the unexpected breakdown of the machine as well as the overall line, which is going to affect the production severely. So this AI monitor is going to help like predicting the failure of servo and spindle motors, where we can avoid the breakdown of the machines. So that is about artificial intelligence, and that is how the IoT has been used in the latest factories. So the outcome of the IoT is basically the smart factory and smart manufacturing. So we can see in the left side the CNC factory at Fanuc, Japan, where only robots are working, and everything has been automated, and it can be visualized at a central place, and 24/7 the manufacturing happens, and even at Saturdays, Sundays, and the manufacturing line can be visualized at home by the production chief. So IoT enables to make the factories smarter, and everything get connected, and which will help in manufacturing industry to have the latest manufacturing with ease of use. So that is what is my presentation for today, and regarding this industrial IoT, digitalization, and case studies. And if you have any questions, we can have get it clarified now.
Good evening. This is Rajesh Robert from LG Equipments here.
Yes.
To Mr. Ashok.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashok, this is first of all, this is a very good session.
Yes, sir.
In LG, we are using this IoT for our compressors.
Yes, sir.
Data from the different parts of the country. This is
Okay.
and of course, this particular webinar gives a very good insight about how it could be further be controlled for the factory. It's really a good.
Okay.
I appreciate your presentation. Thanks,
Okay.
Bala, for arranging this one.
Yes, sir. Sir, any questions you have? Any questions from other participants?
Good afternoon. This is Venkat from Lakshmi Life Sciences.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting information that you shared. So for me, the doubt is, in fact, we are using various machines supplied by the OEM.
Okay.
So there are a lot of restrictions as far as the data retrievals are concerned, because they offer certain programs developed by themselves for IoT interface.
Yes,
so
sir.
Different brand of machineries have their own policies, and but as a company, we cannot actually go with the various different manufacturers and again integrate all together.
Yes, sir.
So what kind of challenges is this the common problem for everyone, or is there a solution for retrieving without the consent of the manufacturer?
Sir, it is a common problem everywhere. We have this issue because there are varieties of machines in the shop floor and varieties of controls and varieties of data required. But if you take some machines, special machines, or some imported machines, the data shared by the machine tool builders, some of the data are like protected, so we are not able to get the data into the no, like IoT softwares. But only thing is we can discuss with these machine manufacturers, and we should get those critical data which are required for the machine monitoring. In some cases, we could able to interact with the machine manufacturers, and we could able to get those special addresses where that particular MTB machine tool builder will store those data. But in some cases, it is very difficult because the local machine dealers will not have any information, and they depends upon the
OEMs.
like uh, the main principles. But if the end user is pushing the manufacturer, then there is a chance to get these data, because this in recent times the IoT is must for the shop floor, and they should share these data. But yes, there are some restrictions which may become clear going forward. But currently, yes, each shop floor there are some difficulties to get all the data from the all varieties of equipments.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Ashok, good afternoon. It was an excellent
Good afternoon,
presentation.
sir.
I am not able to, I am able to see your very smart, handsome face, but I am not able to show myself. That's a different part. It was an excellent presentation. One of the panelists, Mr. Krishna Prasad PM, he is asking for Fanuc Smart Factory video. Maybe from our corporate video, can you just display that?
Means now? Hello? 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 Bala sir, we have time to show that video, or how it is?
Yes, sir. You can take.
Okay, let me try. Any other questions? Meanwhile, just trying to get that video.
Good evening to all. I hope all of you are enjoying this webinar. We are glad to announce that GKD and FANUC India has been jointly conducting robotic, IoTs, and certification programs. Basically, these are the programs are certification programs. If anyone want to take up this program in online also, it is possible. You can have a, you can write to us, we can keep in touch.
You are able to see my screen? Bala sir, you are able to see my screen?
Not able to view.
Sir, we could see your presentation.
Okay.
Yes.
Now?
Not it. It is the same.
Same. How to share the desktop?
No, sir.
Now?
Sir, you need to withdraw your presentation screen first.
Yeah.
Have to close this presentation and
Presentation,
start
then
sharing
only
again.
that can share. Yes.
Now?
Still the presentation screen only is appearing, sir.
Sir, you have to leave the presentation and you can start fresh. If you share, it will be visible.
RoboDrill factory, located in the Tsukuba area, manufacturing compact machining centers.
Now?
The assembly of units
Sir,
such
I
as
am able to see.
Yeah, able to see, sir.
Working.
Okay, sir.
We can show the smart factory itself so that it will be very.
produces CNCs and robot controller. This is the CNC factory that produces CNCs and robot controllers. The automated lines apply a great number of FANUC intelligent robots, having replaced the works that have otherwise been done manually.
So here we can see that
This
only
is the
robots are
servo
working.
motor factory. The entire process for motor assembly, from part retrieving to assembly, testing, and hacking, is automated with robots. This factory also produces servo amplifiers from assembly to testing in the highly automated and efficient systems with robots. This is the robot factory. Robots are assembled in the automatic assembly systems with a large number of FANUC intelligent robots, and then put through a continuous running test and inspection in the testing area. This is the RoboDrill factory, located in the Tsukuba area, manufacturing compact machining centers. The assembly of units, such as tool changer and drive axes, is automated by robots. The RoboDrill parts machining factory in the Tsukuba area installs FANUC robot cells to conduct long-hour unmanned operation, including Saturdays and Sundays. In the repair factory, FANUC products which date back to
So that is about smart factory. Any questions?
Okay, now.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the participation, and I request all the participants to use this GKDITR resources for their trainings, and they have a lot of equipments with FANUC where they can train on these CNC controls, and the simulation softwares are available. And also we can they have a joint certification course which can be used by the industry fraternities, and take the advantage to make their factories more smarter. So I thank everyone once again, and I also thank GKDITR for giving us this opportunity to present in this special webinar on smart manufacturing for manufacturing industries. Thank you very much. And this is the end of the session. Thank you again to one and all who are present in this webinar.
Sir, a million sincere thanks to you for the sea of wisdom and knowledge you served us with during your amazing lecture. You are too excellent. We would like to thank our Managing Trustee Madam, Dr. Lalita Devi Sanjay Jayavardhanavelu, and our Director, Dr. Balamurugan M, for organizing this webinar. Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. A recorded version of this webinar is available in YouTube. We had love to hear from you. Thanks once again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We will be in touch. Our Coimbatore team, Mr. Gokul and Mr. Tells, will be in continuous touch. And any such requirements, webinars, we can come and support you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you, Dr. Bala.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ashok and Mr. Bala.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Balasan, I will disconnect. We have another meeting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Thank you very much. I
Yes, sir.
will
Yes, sir.
disconnect. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you,
Thank
Bala
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.